Howdy, Fluffs, and welcome back. I just want to take a moment and say sorry for not having any video that had relatively good content last Friday. As I said, was pretty sick then, or at least had the earache, so it really stopped me from wanting to do anything there until it got better. But I do appreciate those that stopped by, watched, and dropped a comment, and just took a moment to tell me about how you guys were doing. I do take time to read all the comments that I get, if any at all. But it's good to know that you guys are doing well as well, and hope you guys have a good week or a good weekend once you do watch this. But enough of that. I figured today's episode or Friday feature would best be talking about the best locations that are probably really good for fursuiting, at least within my state. This might be different between where you live or which country you live in just because of, laws. Uh, First and foremost, the best place to do it is going to be obviously in your home. You have everything under control there. You can do whatever you want inside your own house. So it makes it the perfect spot to film videos, do whatever you want. Some people throw parties, some people just chill. But yeah, obviously the number one important place, your home. Provided that you don't live in a family or place that is with others that disapprove of furries. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But if you do have other areas, at least in the state of Ohio, other good places that you can go are public places like parks. Um, uh, Unlike other states or some states, I don't know all the rules and regulations and state stuff, but at least in Ohio, there's not anything illegal for wearing something like this out in a public area. Now, it could be if you get on private property, that is the case. Like if you go into a convenience store or Walmart or what have you, a big supply chain, then they do have regulations against wearing anything that covers your face, except masks. Those are now legal due to all the situations going on. Um, Obviously, you don't want to go into a bank or do anything stupid there. But public places tend to not be, uh, are pretty much one of the better places to go outside if you're wanting to do something uh, in costume or um, for recording or what have you. Just because, as I said, in the state of Ohio at least, there's not a regulation against being in a public space and doing that. Now, that's something you do have to check in your own uh, state or country because there may be restrictions of that. So, doing stuff outside may be impossible for you unless it's in the confines of your own place. Um, Other really good locations, if you're not in a park, is um, businesses. So, this ain't just doesn't go say go into Walmart and do something. But if you call ahead and talk to people and get things planned out and approved, you could definitely go into that particular business. One that is really common that we do a lot when COVID doesn't happen is the bowling alleys or the local um, open strip malls or whatever you want to call them. Um, there's usually gallery hops that are done around those. Sometimes maybe in if the store permits. but um, places like that, when you call ahead and get that permission, is definitely a good place where you can get some cool and interesting things. Just because you definitely do need that permission because they can obviously arrest your ass or kick you out at the worst. Um, but it's never um, it's never not the worst option in the world, but definitely do make sure you do because that can definitely put a bad name on things if you just go rogue and start getting kicked out of businesses. It doesn't make everything as a whole look good. Now, obviously, that might be a little bit different in certain areas, like especially when cons are going on, like up in Pittsburgh, for example. They're, from what I can tell, at least seem in that area seem really cool and chill with all the things. So there's definitely going to be a time and a place where certain norms may be a little bit different, especially when cons are present, because those are definitely money makers for the city. So they're going to do everything they can to make people feel welcome and spend their money there. So things like that can definitely be a good factor within getting it. And this also brings up another topic. Uh, you should probably never go in alone. You'd always want a buddy or someone helping you out. Obviously, if you get a GoPro or something, you can record yourself, but that's not what I'm really talking about. You never know if you're gonna get harassed by someone or mugged or anything of that nature. You're pretty much in a walking rug, so you can't really do much if someone tries to do something. So it's always nice to have a backup person there just in case things go awry. Especially if you're in more um, risky locations when you decide to. Like, obviously, uh, some of those con areas where some of the bigger places are in the big cities, it may be safe in that area, but if you go down a block or two, you may be running into some activity you may not want to find yourself on the tail end of. But always make sure you are safe and have what's called a handler or at least a buddy nearby. Handler keeps you hydrated. Make sure everything's well. Make sure your suit looks good. Make sure the kids stay off you. And overall, just act as your ears and eyes when you can't see anything yourself or hear anything if you happen to miss it. For myself, I actually have pretty decent vision and awareness from the suit, so it's not as much of a hindrance for me. But I do know that some other suits that I've seen just have like such a narrow vision or hard to see. Not to say I don't have a big blind spot, like I can see about this wide out without having too much of an issue, and um, about this wide down and up without having too much of an issue. If that gives you a kind of a cone of vision of sorts. Um, yeah, these things are limited. You don't want to be caught without something that can help you. But I think that kind of wraps up today's blathering on things. Sorry for the mess on the desk and everything here. Didn't have really time to clean up or prepare anything. But a note for next time. I did get a partial green screen that should be able to strap to my chair, and I should be able to use that for a nice background so you don't have to really see this mess. I mean, it may not work for everything, but it may at least work for um, certain things here. I may have to work with it and see, but if not, I can just get some other things or big green blankets and throw over things and get that filtered out. At some point, I may decide to move things over into another room and kind of make that the recording studio, but that takes time and patience and stuff that I don't want to do at this moment. So, Thanks for stopping by, Fluffs. Hope you're enjoying everything. Hope you're enjoying the games. Hope you're enjoying the Friday content. And I'll see you next time whenever you choose to follow back in. Just remember, stop by, say hey, always leave a comment. It really helps the channel. And as I said, I take the time to read and respond to those comments as long as they're appropriate and actually worth responding to in the regards of it. That's not like a um, something that doesn't need to be responded to, like a good job or a hi or something. Like all those are whatnot. But if you have a question or a comment and I get around to reading it, then definitely be on the lookout for a response. I try to keep that active. Bye bye, guys.